What's stealing your magic? I am putting together a presentation called Festive, Not Frazzled. And one of the topics that we're going to discuss is things that steal your magic, especially during this holiday season, this magical time. What things steal your magic? When you know these things and you can be aware of them, that's often the first step before you can actually change those things. So, one of the things that we hear a lot is just the time stress, right? You're overscheduling, you feel like you need to say yes to everyone, all the events, all the obligations, but that's not really true. And being able to set boundaries and actually have others respect your boundaries, it's very healthy. It's um, very understandable. It's probably something that people around you need to see modeled so that they can do it in their own life. So, just going into it knowing that I need some downtime, I need to manage this. I've learned from, how many years have I been doing this that this is a stressful time. Okay, so what can I do to be proactive? Number two would be perfectionism, right? Like I just have to get this just perfect. Like I think of one time I made these, the cutout cookies, and you cut them into shapes, and they are very time consuming. Anyway, my brothers came and just like shoved it. Was a long time ago, and just shoved the whole thing in their mouth, and I was like, "You didn't even look at the cookie," and like almost had a meltdown. That's what I like to call missing the forest for the trees, right? Like, I mean, I should have just done it. I don't know what I was expecting, but the point is that I know that people can do that. They can get caught up in perfectionism and forget that, you're yelling at the people that you're actually trying to serve. So, it's like keep things in alignment. Number three, comparison, right? Everyone is going to start posting their version of the greatest Thanksgiving ever. We're just there. What do you call that? Sorry, I cannot think of the name. Curate a curation. Their curated version of their holiday. I mean, I have plenty of holidays where it's like I have in the photos I'm grinning ear to ear, but you don't know the backstory. You don't know the little fight, snit, what snit, I don't know what that is, but you know what I'm saying, your little snippy is what I was trying to say, your little snippy commentary that you had with, some other family member or fellow Christian or someone that you just shouldn't have. And you don't see that in the photos. You don't see that you got your feelings hurt or all this other stuff. So keeping that in mind, I mean, it's really crucial. Number four is the overindulgence, right? We overeating, overspending, over drinking. I mean, the holiday over decorate, right? The holidays have just they've for some people they can get out of control. I mean, if that's what people enjoy, right? And it's different for everyone. I mean, everyone really has to know their own thing. I mean, that's really the concept behind the wellness is that you know what's best for you. Like ultimately you do. I mean, you may need some guidance, you may have numbed out that sense, but ultimately you know what's best for you. So but yeah, I mean, just getting caught up in the moment, it does feel like, oh, come on, you got to try the powder puff sugar balls or whatever. It's like, no, thank you. I mean, I understand that sometimes it can be difficult, but it gets easier. And they're not going to be there when you have inflammation from whatever crap out of the box that someone brought. I mean, no offense, but that's a side tip. Don't eat things that are store bought. Just make that a rule. That's one of my rules. I'm all, did you make it? No? Okay, no. Number five, neglecting self-care. And I feel like this goes with everything else that we were talking about, but it's forgetting out, it's for leaving out the basics, right? It's forgetting like, drink water, get plenty of sleep. I mean, I think a lot of times during the holidays, it's like, oh, let's watch one more Netflix. And I'm, not that it's just that you need to be proactive. You need to keep your circadian rhythm going. You need to keep, giving yourself plenty of water and sunshine and, exercise and, taking your thoughts captive and making sure that your thoughts aren't just running the show. I mean, you're like, hey, quiet down up there. if you're anything like me. Um, Moving on to number 6, people pleasing. This is huge. It's huge for a lot of people. We got our family. It's like we got some old issues going on. Like, oh, you were never proud of me. It's just like whether it's that or it's the people online or you're feel like you have to volunteer, you have to go to this person's party or they'll be mad at you. Again, that people pleasing, it's like when you are really, I have to work on this also, so don't think I'm not talking to myself, but when we are grounded in who we are, God's child, um we just can't let other people's meanings of things um be a detriment to our wellness. That's not, there's a fine line between just being selfish and not being there for people. But this is definitely a sensitive time, right? Because yeah, there's just a lot of feelings and this and that. And I mean, you should be able to be honest with these people in your life, and just like, we can't do everything, or I can't do everything, or I need a mental health day. So those are some of the things that might be stealing your magic. And I think that if you know that going into it, that you can be a little more aware and maybe being like, I'm doing the thing, I'm doing the perfectionism thing again. And really, I need to chill out because who am I trying to impress? The people here. Well, they're not going to be impressed if I'm being mean to them. So, stick around. I have some more videos coming. We're going to talk about how to keep the magic, some practical ways you can do that. So, I'm going to put that in the next video, and I will see you